Hello all, welcome to part 3 of Hybrid TestNG Framework using Page Object Model and Page Factory training series. So let's get started. So here we are. Till the previous session, we have created this utilities class and base class, and we have created these test classes, login class containing the login test and register class containing some register test. Now in this session, we are going to create one more class here. Okay, similar to the login and register, we are going to create one more class. We can pick some random functionality. We completed register, few test cases from register, like around four we have automated already in our project. Similarly, from login, 5 automation tests we have automated, 5 test cases we have automated. Now let's randomly pick one more functionality. I'll go with search functionality, guys. So here I'll pick some 3 test cases, guys. Okay, let's, for sample, I'm taking this. Okay, it's not serious one. If it's serious, I have to automate everything, right? All the test cases of the search functionality, all the test cases of register, login, everything has to be automated. But since our focus is on the automation framework, I'm taking some sample 3 test cases. First 3 test cases I'm going to take is, okay, first one is verify searching with an existing product name. Okay, first of all, what I will do is I'll create a new class and name it as search. Click on finish. In this search class, I'll create a method. Public void verify searching with an existing product name. Verify search with valid product or existing product. Valid product, you can say. Verify search with valid product. And convert this normal test method into the TestNG test method. Over the mouse, import this annotation from TestNG and give priority as 1. For example, let's say, okay, priority is equal to 1. Done. Now here, let's write the automation code. So what I will do is I'll write the automation code. Web driver is equal to new Chrome driver. I'll write. Okay. So instead of doing like this, I'll create a method, guys. So already demonstrated, right? Login register. Why to waste time? I'll create one method. Public void setup. Directly, I'll create the method this time. And here, at the rate before method, I'll say for the mouse and import this. And here globally, I'll create the web driver. You know why I'm creating globally now. Import this web driver interface from Selenium. Now here, call this method inside this base class. That is initialize browser method. Initialize browser and open application URL method. Just copy this method name and go to the search.java and paste it here and pass some browser name. Here I'll pass the Edge browser. Earlier I passed in login.java, I passed Chrome browser name. You see Chrome I passed. In the register.java, I passed Firefox. Now in the search.java, I'm passing Edge browser. So I cannot call this method directly because this search is not the child of the base class. If I make this search class a child class of the base class, I'll import this base from this base package. Okay. After doing that, you see the error is gone. This method will return the object of this web driver. So I'll simply say driver is equal to done. So initialization of the browser and opening the application URL is done, guys. Okay. After doing that, after opening the application URL, after opening the browser and opening the application URL in the browser, what is the next thing that we have to do? We have to directly enter the text into the search box field. So for that, I'll inspect the search box field, guys. So that code I'll write here, guys. Okay, verify search with valid product. I'll write here rather than writing in the setup. I'll write here for now. Inspect the search. Here name locator is there. Copy this. I'll simply say driver.find element by dot name. Provide the name locator and say dot send keys. Provide the send keys. And here I'll type HP. HP is a valid product, guys. If you click on that, you see you get the results in the search results. Okay. So HP text I'll type. What is the next one? I need to click on the search button. I need to click on this button. Inspect this button, guys. You see this is the button. This button has BTN default, BTN LG. Some different options are there. So I'll try this with BTN LG class BTN L. One of the class I'll take. Control F / button contains class comma provide that class square bracket. How many elements? 1 of 2 is coming. That's not correct then. I cannot go with BTN LG. I'll try with BTN default then. btn default, another class I'll check. This time one of three is coming. This is more too much. Okay. This not also this. So what I can do now, one of two, one of one, those kind of stuff is coming. Okay. Here div id search is there, under that this is there. I'll go with the XPath axis kind of stuff. So I'll go with double slash div at the rate id is equal to double slash div at the rate id is equal to search, I will say. So here this is locating this part. Under that, somewhere a grandchild is there. Okay, this is a grandparent, let's say. This is a child, and under that grandchild is there, known as a button. So I'll say descendant colon button, I'll say. Let's see what will happen. You see this button is located, one of one element is coming. This is a proper XPath. Copy this. Now driver dot find element by dot XPath, provide the XPath of that button and say dot click. Okay, once you click on this button, guys, okay, you'll get the search results here. You'll get the search results here. In the search results, I have to assert whether we got this HP product in the search results or not. How to do that? For that, I'll inspect this search product link, and this is a link text, guys. So I'll simply say driver dot find element by dot link text, provide the control Z. So here I'll do one thing, guys. I'll directly write assert true, I'll say, and here I'll say driver dot find element by dot link text, I'll say. In the link text, I'll provide this link text, guys. Whatever the link text of this product, I'll provide. And finally, I'll say is displayed. Dot is displayed. Okay, this will, if the product is displayed in the search results, the test will pass. Otherwise, the test will fail. Okay. Okay. So this will be unique for each and every test. So I cannot make it common, guys. Okay. This part is a common code now. Now next one. What is the next one? I have to create one more. Here I have to say driver.quit, guys. Instead of writing driver.quit here, as you already know, I'll move this into the another method, that is public void tear down. Okay, tear down. Here I'll say at the rate after method. Okay, at the rate after method, import this, and now here do one thing. Here write down driver.quit. Done. That's it. Now one more test method I'll create, public void. Next test case I'll take verify searching with a non-existing product name. Non-existing product name. Public void verify search with invalid product. Non-existing or invalid product. Okay, a product which doesn't exist in this application at the rate test. Okay. Here I'll say priority is equal to 2, and here I'll write down the code. This code is common, guys. Initializing the browser, opening the application URL is fine. Now the same steps need to be repeated. I have to click on the search button and I have to search for something. I'll copy paste this code, and here I'll search for a product known as Honda. Honda is not there in this application, guys. If I search for Honda, you see there is no product that matches the search criteria will come. The product will not come in the search results. So I have to click on the search button. The same thing is there, but assertion should be different, guys. Okay. So here what I will do is I'll verify whether this message is coming or not. Inspect this. This message is here, guys. Okay. P. But here the top of the P is content. Under the content ID, I think directly, if you see P is there here directly under this. Okay. Okay. So how can I do this? There's one more P also here. Or else under this heading we have. Okay, let's see. Let's do something, guys. I'll create some XPath access kind of stuff and then get it done. Here div ID is there. Double slash div at the rate ID is equal to give the ID of that particular div. And under that H1 is there. I don't want H1. Then H2 I want. H2 is under this slash H2, I can say. It's located. It's the following sibling. For H2, this is P is the following sibling. So I'll say slash following hyphen sibling colon P. You see the P is located. This text we can retrieve now. Copy this. I'll say here string actual search message is equal to driver dot find element by dot provide the XPath of that message and say dot get text dot At the end, you have said dot get text. Okay, put a semicolon here. Done. Now, actual search text here, instead of assert true, I'll write down instead of assert true, I'll write down like this. I'll just minimize it so that you can see it properly. Assert equals, and here actual search message I'll say, and here other search message. Okay. So here one more thing I have to write here, guys. Okay, if this is not displayed, okay, valid product HP is not displayed in the search results. I'll write like this. Okay, so if in case this assertion fails, that message should be displayed. And here, guys, actual search message and expected search message is what? Expected search message is this one. Okay, if it is not expected, I'll say no product in search results. No product in search results. No product in search results is no product message in search results is not displayed. Okay, some valid message is not displayed. Something like this, you have to write. Just put a semicolon here. The assertion is done. Driver.pit is not required here because already we have written in the after method. It will be called for every test method as you already know. Now let's create one more test method, one more test case. Third test case. This is the last one, guys. For sample, I'll be automating these 3 test cases. Verify searching without providing any product name. Without providing product name itself. Public void. Verify search without searching for a product, without any product. Okay. iterate test, and here simply say priority is equal to 3, and here till opening the application URL is written. Now what we have to do here, just copy this part. I'll paste it in the third test again. Copy and paste in the third test, and here driver.find element by.name search send keys. Here I'll not write anything. Click on the search button and the same message should come. Okay, if I don't search for anything, automatically the same message will come. Whatever the message that came for non-existing products folder, the same thing will happen when you search without entering any product. You'll get the same message again. There is no product that matches search criteria, which is already written here. Okay, I don't have to do much. That's it, guys. You see, I automated the search related test cases also. Now, let me run this search related test cases. Okay, run all and see whether the tests are running or not. Okay, 3 tests should run and everything should pass. Let's see. In Edge browser, they are running, as you can see. Whatever the browser name I provide, in that browser only they are running. Okay, in the Edge browser, they are running. Login test will run in Chrome browser. Register will run in Firefox. Such tests are running in Edge browser like that. Okay, we have done something. You see, 3 tests got passed. Now my requirement, let me check login, run all. They will run in Chrome browser because we are passing Chrome browser here. Chrome browser here while we are initializing the browser and opening the application URL. They are running in the Chrome browser, as you can see. All the Chrome browser, five automation tests are there, guys. 5 test cases we have automated as part of login, and all 5 should pass. You see, 5 out of 5 got passed and everything got executed. Similarly, register, they will be running in the Firefox because we provided Firefox here. Click on run all. Individually, we are running the automation test of login, automation test of register, and automation test of search. You see, in the Firefox browser, they are running the register test. Four test cases are there for register. Completed, guys. You see, we're able to run individual tests separately. But my requirement now is to run all the tests together. The 5 automation tests from login, the 4 automation tests from register, and 3 automation from search. I want to run them together. What I have to do? For that, I need to create a TestNG.xml file. So what I will do here is, guys, here we have 2 source folders, as you can see, src main Java and src test Java. I'll create one more source folder, right click new. I'll just mention that as source folder. And this is going to be src. Instead of main test, I'll write test resources. Okay, test resources. Okay, this is another source folder I'm creating, guys. src, like similar to src main Java, which came by default. src test Java also came by default. But this src test resources I'm creating manually. Okay, it didn't come by template by default. Here under this src test resources, I'm going to create testng.xml file. How to create a testng.xml file? Right click on this src test resources, say testng, and say convert to testng. Here nothing is coming, so it's not a better way to right click on this src test resources. So you need to right click on the project itself. Right click. Okay, right click on the project. Don't right click on the src test resources, guys. Right click on the project, select testng, and say convert to testng. You don't have to manually create the testng.xml file. You simply right click on the project and say testng and convert to testng, guys. You will get this dialog. You see, it's automatically creating. The content is getting automatically created and you are getting the classes. You see, register, search, login, everything is coming in this. Okay. So where it is getting created, it's getting created directly under the project, guys. But I don't want to create TestNG XML file under the project. Rather, I want to create under src test resources. Simply click on browse, guys. Expand this src test resources, select, say OK. Now you see the path has been changed. The TestNG XML file will now create under the created under the src test resources. Okay. So click on finish, guys. Click on finish. You see under src test resources, a testng.xml file got created. You can name it anything, guys. Even though I'm by default we are mentioning it as testng.xml file, you can name it anything. So when I open this testng.xml file, it is looking like this. Here in the bottom, you just select the source tab so that you can access the XML content. This is auto-generated, guys. All the classes we have created under the src test Java test cases package, right? Login register. They are added here along with the package names: com tutorials ninja QA test cases dot register, com tutorials ninja QA test cases search, com tutorials ninja. I didn't write all this stuff. It got generated by default. Eclipse IDE is generating this particular file by default with the way I have shown you. You have to follow the process for doing that. Now, what else we have to do? We can give it suite name, guys. A proper suite name we can give. We can say tutorials ninja automation suite. Okay, like this. And here for test also, we can give, remove this thread count for now, not required. Just give the name of the test as tutorials ninja test cases. Okay, automation tests or test cases, anything is fine. Okay, whatever you want to write, you can write, guys. Okay, test or automation tests or test cases, you can write. Okay, tutorials ninja tests. And here we have classes. Under the classes, first it's already auto-generated, guys. Okay. So if I run this testng.xml file, if I run this testng.xml file, guys, okay, if I run this testng.xml file, first register test will run, because in the testng XML file, which class is mentioned first? Register class is mentioned first. So register test will run first, then search will run second, and login. So I want to change the order, guys. I want search to be in the third position, login to be in the first position. Login to be in the okay. Login, I want it to be in the second position, guys. First register, then login, then search. I want to go with this order. I want. Okay, I don't want to go with this login, register, search. Rather, register, login, search. I want to go with. So whatever the order in which you want the different functionality tests you want to run, you have to update the order in the TestNG XML file. I want to run the register test first, so this class is provided first in the TestNG XML file, then login test, then search test. Save this, guys. Save this. Now, what you can do, right click on this and say run as TestNG suite. Run as TestNG suite, guys. Okay. Instead of running the login.java separately, instead of running register.java separately, where only register related tests will run, if I right click on search and say run as TestNG test, it will only run the test from the search. But if I want to run all these three tests, all the tests inside these three classes, then I have to create this kind of TestNG XML file under src test resources. where all these classes are provided. If any class is missing, you can just copy paste this one and just change the name. Okay. And you will get that class also. All the tests from that class will, and the order also you have to decide. And now all this tests from these three classes, register, login, and such in this specified order will be running, guys. And individually in login, there are 5 tests and they have the priority. Priority will decide the order in the login test. But externally, out of these 3 classes, which class will run first? Register class test will run first. And internally, priority will take care of the priority order. Okay. Right click run as. Here you are getting a different option. Instead of getting TestNG test, you are getting TestNG suite. Just select that option, guys. All the tests will run. 5 plus 4 plus 3. That is 9 plus 3. That is 12. 12 tests will run. First, you see, register tests are running in the Firefox browser. 4 tests will run in the Firefox browser one by one. All the 12 tests should run and pass tests, okay? One by one, okay? We are running as a batch. This is called as running as a batch test, okay? You see now, login tests are running in the Chrome browser. Now, search tests are running in the Edge browser. 3 search tests will run one by one. You see, all the 12 tests got run and all the 12 tests got passed. You can see the TestNG results tab also. You can see here clearly. Under register, you see 1, 2, 3, 4 tests got run. Under login, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tests got run. Under search, 1, 2, 3. Whatever the test cases I have automated under each and every class, register, login, and search, they all got executed here and everything got passed. Nothing got failed or skipped. Okay, that's fine for now. So this is the testng.xml file and how to run the tests as a batch. Okay, how to run multiple tests as a batch. I've shown you. Now, what I want to do next is I want to go to one of the file login.java and I want to remove the hard coding part. Okay. Next problem I'm going to solve, guys. Okay. Next problem I am going to solve, that is I want to remove the hard coding part. What is the hard coding part? Here you see the Chrome browser is hard coded. Okay. And also in the base class, if you go to the base here, the URL is hard coded. URL is hard coded. Tomorrow this URL changes. I have to go to the base class and update it. Or this URL may be part of every test case. So I have to update it. Okay. So this browser, I have to go to each and every class. Login class, I have to change the browser. Go to the register and I have to change the browser. Search and go and change the browser. Okay. So the high level details like username, URL, browser name, such kind of things we need to, okay, such kind of things we need to remove the hard coding, guys. Okay, we have to remove a lot of hard coding, guys. We have to remove a lot of hard coding. So let's start with this browser name and the URL, okay, for now. And here valid credentials, invalid credentials, all these things we have to, okay. So we have to pass these credentials from some place, okay, some properties file, or we have to create a properties file now. Okay, to remove the hard coding, what we are going to do is we are going to create a properties file. I explained the concept of properties file in the previous sessions of this series itself. You can watch my previous videos of this training series where I covered the properties file, okay, in Java and all. So how to use that properties file, I'll show you. So here, as part of the framework, under src main Java, I'll create one package known as package com.tutorials ninja.qa.config. Okay, config properties file. Click on finish, and here right click on this package and say new and create a file, guys. Okay, create a file and here give the name as config dot properties file. Config dot properties file. You can give small or whatever you feel convenient. Okay, no problem. Config dot properties file is created. Here I'll mention the URL, guys. I don't want to hard code the URL in the base or any other place. Okay, this URL I want to remove the hard coding. Tomorrow, if the URL changes, I will directly come to the config file, a central place known as config file, where I'll update the URL here. Tomorrow, your client will give you another URL. Okay, should not touch any of the base class or login tests here. Rather, login any of these test classes you don't have to touch, or any of this base class you don't have to touch when URL changes. Directly come to the config.properties and update the URL here. That's number one thing. And also, this automation test should run in which browser? All these automation tests should run in only one browser. Login should run in Chrome, restart should run in Firefox, search will run in Edge. It is not like that, guys. Okay, all the automation tests should run in only one browser. Which browser? That browser should be mentioned here in the properties file. Browser is equal to, okay, let's say Chrome. Okay, all the tests will run in the Chrome browser in this case. Okay, save this. So any other properties, if you want to mention, you can mention here, guys. Okay, any other properties. Okay, for now, let's go with the URL and browser for now. So what I will do here is, here in the base class, okay, I'll create one method. In the base class, I'll create one method known as public void load properties file. Okay, a method I'll create inside the base class known as load properties file. And here I'll do one thing. I'll create an object for the properties file in Java. Okay, this concept I covered in the previous session, guys. So properties prop is equal to new properties. Like this, you have to create an object for the properties class in Java. This from Java, guys. Okay, import this from java.util package. Now say prop.load. Which file I have to load? I have to load this properties file. But here it's expecting the input stream. This load method of this properties class is expecting the input stream. So what I will do is I'll say file input stream FIS is equal to new file input stream. I'll write down. Okay. Now import this file input stream from java.io package. And here this constructor is expecting a file. So for that I'll write file, what file? Prop file. Okay. File prop file is equal to new file. Okay. Here I have to provide the path of the properties file. Okay. I have to represent the properties file. So I have to import this file from java.io package. And this here I have to give the path, guys. Path of the properties file. Where is this properties file available? I'll write down like this: system.get property user.dir. Okay, user.dir. If I write this statement, guys, this will get the path of the project up to project path. Under the project, where is this properties file? Under the project, under src main Java, under this com tutorials ninja.qa config, we have the config.properties file available. Okay, how to get that? So I'll say plus. So here under this project, /src /main /java /com /tutorials ninja /qa config that's it. Config now give the properties file name config.properties like this. Okay, like this you have to give the path, guys. After giving the path, take this proper file and give that in the file input stream constructor, and take this file input stream and give that in the load. Now you see you have to surround this particular two statements inside the try catch blocks. Okay, so how to surround these two statements in the try catch blocks? These two statements are giving some checked exceptions. So I'll write down try here and catch. Okay. Exception is a parent, so I can give no problem. Or throwable also I can give. Okay, throwable, which is grandparent. Okay. So if any exception comes, I'll simply I'll say print stack trace. Okay, done. Like this, I'll write the code. Okay, if any exceptions comes, if this path is not existing, you'll get exception here. Okay. This for loading the properties file, guys. Once the properties file is loaded, with this load method, then you can access the properties from the properties file. Okay, the properties file need to be loaded. So here, how the properties file will be loaded? If you are calling this initialize browser and open application URL, before this itself, this properties file should be loaded. Okay, so I'll make it global, guys. I'll make this particular part global and remove the local declaration. And here, instead of hard coding the URL, guys, instead of hard coding the URL here, I'll simply say prop.get property. Which property name? From the properties file, I have to give the URL as a property. You see, I'm removing the hard coding here, guys. Okay, I'm getting this URL from the config.properties file. Okay, after loading the properties file, automatically this will be done. Okay, so this method should be called first before this initializing browser method. We have to call the load properties file method. Okay, so that properties file will be loaded, and I'll make this public, guys. I'll make this public. I'll make this properties file public. Okay, this prop should be public so that it can be accessed inside the child classes and all. Okay, inside the child classes it can be accessed, or inside the other classes it can access. We can access. So here URL hard coding is removed, guys. Few more hard codings are there. I'll come to that later. Here 10 and 5 are there. I'll come to that later. Okay, I should not put this 10 and 5. Everything I should not put inside the config.properties file, guys. Okay, so this 10 and 5 has a separate place. So we'll put that there. Okay, we'll put that there. So what I will do next is here URL hard coding is removed from the base class. Now I'll go to the login.java. And before you call this initialize browser, you have to call the load properties method. So one way is like since login is a parent of the child of the base class, you can call this method directly. That is one way. That is you can simply call this method, and you don't have to do anything. Okay, before you call this initialize browser, you have to call this method. So nothing will no problem will happen. Okay, properties file will be loaded and things will happen properly. So what's the other way is if you don't want to call this explicitly like this, there's another way where you can create a constructor in the instead of making this method as load properties file, you can create a constructor here, public void base constructor. Okay, this base constructor will have this code for loading the properties file. Okay, this base constructor will have the code for loading the properties file. Okay, this is another way, guys. Okay, there are two ways. Either you can give the name as load properties file and call it from the child class, or you can make this particular method as a base constructor. You see, constructor will have the same name as the class name. And what I will do here is, here instead of calling this load properties file and all, here I'll create one more constructor, public. I'll say login. Okay, this is and here whenever this class is executed, I'll write super here. That means super means super class constructor. To the login, who is a super class base class? Base class constructor will be called automatically and the properties file will be loaded. Okay, this is another way, guys. Okay, either this way or this way, anything is fine. Up to you, guys. I'll stick to this way. This looks good for me. Or you can also go with the load properties file method. Okay. So here constructor. What is the problem here? Change to okay, it should not have return type. Constructor should not have return type. I wrote it wrong. Public, no return type. So base. Okay, you see the code will be loaded. This is one way, or you can directly call also. If you don't want to create this kind of approach, you can simply call the method here. Every time you have to call the method, or you have to create this kind of constructor which can call the super constructor. Okay, parent class constructor automatically. So any of the ways you are loading the properties file, guys. Okay, up to you. So let's go with this. Let's stick to this one of the method, or you can go with that method, up to you. But for now in the framework, I'm sticking to this method. This looks good for me. So it will load the properties file and then all the hard-coded values will be gone. So here in the login, guys, after this properties file is loaded and once we get the driver and all, here I want to remove the hard coding of the browser name. I want to get the browser name from the properties file. For that, prop dot get property. Since this prop is kind of property of the parent class and it's also public, right? Child class can access no problem, without any problem. Okay. So prop.get property, prop.get property, and give the property name. What is the property name we have for the browser? Okay, browser or browser name, whatever you feel convenient. Just give some name here, save all, and go to the login and give browser name here. That's it. Okay. You see, hard coding is removed from the test. I don't have to go to each and every test, and every time I have to run on Chrome browser. I don't have to open the test and then change the value here. Rather now, these properties are being read from the properties file. Okay. Next what? Next is lot of data is there in this. A lot of data is there in this files. So let's see what I can remove the hard coding of. Email address, password. That's fine. Username, password we can give. And this username password can be common, guys. Okay, valid username password we may have to use multiple times. So that's one thing. And a lot of data you cannot put into this fields. Okay, a lot of data you cannot put into this config.properties file. Basically, URL, browser, one or two more properties you will generally put, not much. Okay, remaining all things we'll put into the Excel file, guys. Okay, I'll show you how to read the data from the Excel files. Okay, how to read the data from the Excel files. I'm going to show you guys. But for now, only few properties you have to mention. Only project level properties. Okay, project level properties like URL, browser name, username, password, which are common for all the tests. Such kind of common properties you have to write here. Individual test related hard coded values you should not write here. You should not create the properties for individual test related. Common things only. Coming to the common things, you generally use login. You sometimes you have to log in and perform some actions, right? This username and password may be required multiple times for us. Okay, so these are common across multiple tests. So I'll remove the hard coding of this. Okay, remaining all hard coding I'll not remove. For each and everything I'll not remove, guys. Okay, so basic ones. Okay, basic configurations only, basic project level, high level configurations only, and I'll put. Okay, so I'll say valid email, valid email, valid email is equal to what is the valid email address we have. This is a valid email address we have, and I'll give that here. And valid password, guys. Valid password. What is the valid password? 123456 is the valid password. Okay, save this all and go to the login. And here, remove this part. Remove this part and write down prop dot get property. What is the property name? Email address. Valid email. Copy this and provide inside the login. Okay, and here valid password I have to give. Prop dot get property. Prop dot get okay, dot get property. I'll give valid password. Valid password. Okay, some hard coding I'm removing, not entire hard coding. Okay, not entire hard coding I'm removing. Only few hard coding, few portions of hard coding I'm removing. Okay, so the data should not be hard coded in the test. Okay, the data should not be hard coded in the test. Either it should be part of the config file, config.properties file, or some other Excel file. We have to read the data from. It should not be there in the individual test methods. Okay, so that is the thing. Now, what else is hard coded still? So remaining all I'll put it as usual, guys. Telephone number, password, invalid password, let it be there. Generate timestamp, I don't have to do anything. Remaining all I'll just leave it like that. Okay, so any other stuff is there? Okay. Here valid password again. Okay, in this case, write prop dot get property valid password I have to give. Then this is valid email. So here also I have to change prop dot get property valid email. Not all the things should be part of the config.properties file. Only important things should be important project level properties should be part of the important common project level properties should be part of the config.properties file. Remaining all will come from the test cases, guys. Okay, I mean Excel files. Okay, remaining data will put into the Excel files. I'll show you that later. Okay, for now let's partially remove the hard coding using the properties file like this. Okay, by accessing this things like this. Okay, any other places? I think this is fine in the login case. I'll go to the restart now. I'll go to the restart.java, and here also Firefox browser is there. I'll remove this and say prop dot get property. I'll write down the property name, that is browser. Only one browser should be, all the tests should be running only on one browser. It should be not be a mix of browsers. Okay. So now this time all the tests will run in the Chrome browser because that is the property config.properties file. Chrome browser is mentioned. Any other stuff, foreign motory and all. This is actually a valid password, guys. This is a valid password. Prop dot get property. This is valid password. So I'll wherever possible I'll provide the valid password, guys. Okay. Prop dot get property. Here also valid password I'll write down. Sorry, I'm writing valid email, I guess. Valid password I have to write. Password, valid password. Done. Okay, then next. I think this part is done. Here also, I'll just copy paste this one, guys, for valid password. Okay. Valid password. Valid password. Remaining all okay. I don't have to worry. Okay, fine. Here again, valid password. Valid password. Sometimes when you paste, it will go to another tab. That's okay. Come back and then paste it properly. Any other place? No, that's it. Okay. I think we are good. In the register.java file also, close this register.java and open the search.java. Here, Edge browser is there. In place of this, only one browser should come. That is from the properties file, prop.get property and browser name, I guess. Copy this browser name. Copy this browser name. And in the search, you provide the browser name. That's it. Okay. And a valid product. All these things will come from the Excel file. Okay. We'll remove the hard coding of the remaining data by putting this data into the Excel files. Okay. I'll show you how to do that. So for now, this much is fine. Any other stuff? Okay, this is fine, guys. Only basic high level, project level, common properties need to be put into the config.properties file. Okay, so the things which are common across multiple files, okay, that need to be coming here, which are unique for every test. Okay, individual classes related test data will be there, right? That should not be part of the config.properties file. Okay, common data should be part of the config.properties file. Uncommon data, which is specific to any particular classes or individual tests, should be part of the Excel file. Okay, we'll store the data into the Excel file and read using this framework. We are going to read the data from the Excel file later. Remaining portion will remove later. Okay, save this for now. We have implemented the properties file. I'll again run the TestNG.xml file and see whether the tests are running properly after moving the common data into the common config data into the project level config data into the properties file. Okay, let's run this code. Right click run as TestNG suite and let's see whether let me stop it for a while. Let me stop it, guys. So I forgot to do one thing here. Only in the login I provided is constructor and super. Okay, I have to repeat the same in register also. Okay, you should not forget this. Okay, register constructor super. Okay, search constructor search. You see, when search constructor is called, automatically search constructor will be called first. Okay, when I run this, search constructor will be called and automatically super constructor, that is nothing but in the base class, whatever the parent class constructor, that is base class constructor will be called and the properties file will be loaded. Otherwise, you will get errors, guys. Okay, make sure that you have provided that in each and every class that constructor. Okay, now run the testng.xml file, right click run as testng suite and see what's happening. All the 12 tests should run. Yeah, data is coming. That's fine. URL is coming and means it's fine. I think Firefox test should run first, but what happened? Chrome browser tests are running first. Let's see what's happening. Let it run, guys. If any problems, we'll resolve. Okay. So why it's running in all the Chrome browser, guys? You remember, right? Properties, from properties, we mentioned only one browser, that is Chrome browser. Okay. No more, the scripts will not, individual test classes will not be running in different browsers now, because at the project level, we gave in config.properties, we gave the browser name as Chrome. So the scripts are running only in Chrome browser. Okay. Whatever it may be, register test or login test or such test, all the tests are running in the Chrome browser only. All the 12 tests will run in the Chrome browser, guys, one by one. Okay, when search are running in the Chrome browser, no more Edge browser. You see, all the tests got passed. So what if I have to run the scripts on a different browser? I don't have to touch any base or login register search. Just go to the config properties. Tomorrow URL changes or browser name, you want to run the scripts on different browser. Okay, just give the browser name here and save it. Okay, or username password change, you can go to the config.properties and change it. Okay, now the tests will run in the Firefox browser, guys. All the 12 tests will run in the Firefox browser. Okay, at a high level, you can update the browser name. You don't have to go to the individual class and update. So we have removed some partial hard coding, guys. Okay, partial hard coding. That two of the by creating the config.properties where we have put all the high level project properties. Okay, high level project properties, common project properties across the classes. So all the tests are running in the Firefox browser now. Let all the 12 tests run, then we'll be good. So few more hard codings were there. I'll show you other way of removing the hard coding of those kind of strings, constant kind of things, we can say. Okay, we cannot put them into the config.properties file, or neither we can put those kind of stuff into the Excel sheets. So we have to put it at different place. Okay, I'll show you that removing of the hard coding of other things that cannot be put into the config.properties file, neither they cannot be put into the Excel sheets. Okay, test data, like a test data. So those are like kind of constants, guys. I'll show you one example for that. You will see after this test got run. I'll show you the examples for them. Okay, of the hard coded values which can be removed from the test or from the files to remove the hard coding, and those cannot be put into the config.properties file, and they cannot be put into the Excel files. After this running, I'll show you that part. All the 12 tests should run. Let's see. So we are at which part? Let's see. We are at which part? You see, all the 12 tests got run in the Firefox browser now. Okay, Firefox browser. That's all good. I'll change it back to the Chrome browser, guys, and let me stick to Chrome browser for a while. Okay, until it is needed for me to update. Okay. So next thing is, I told you, right? If you go to the base.java, guys, there are some hard-coded values. Okay, apart from the URL, here 10 is hard-coded, 5 is hard-coded. These are constants, guys. I don't want to update them. Okay, I don't want someone to update them. So how to do that? I don't want to update these values directly from here. Rather, I want to put these things as common things from a different place. Okay, I want to access this 10 and 5 from a common place, but I cannot put this 10 and 5 into this config properties, nor I can put into this Excel sheets, because these are not the test data. Okay, these are project settings kind of data. So what I will do here is, remember we created under src main Java, we created something known as utils package. We have the utils.java. Here one method we have created. So similarly, we'll create variables here. Okay, public static final, like this I'll create. Okay, final means you cannot update later. Okay, public static final. Variable name you give, that is implicit wait time. Okay, is equal to implicit wait time is equal to, just give some 10. Okay, I'm not able to put syntax error token float expected. Okay, public. It's a problem. Public. Okay. Let's wait. What is the problem here? Okay. I'll do one thing. Public static. I'll say public static and say wait time is equal to 10 if I write. Any problem coming? Variable declarator ID expected after this token. Okay. It's the public utilities class, and This is a method, right? This is a method, and before the method, inside the class, we are creating this. What if I remove this? Then also it's a problem. Sorry, I forgot one thing, guys. Okay, public static final int. Now it's fine. Okay, I forgot the data type. Okay, you see how much crazy I am. Public static final int wait time is equal to 10. I am saying, and this is not going to change because final is there. The 10 cannot be updated from the other places. Here only when initialize you have to update. Okay, static means with the help of this utilities class you can access this variable. That's why I'm making this static. That's the reason I'm making static. Final means you cannot update the value anywhere else inside the other classes. So wait, implicit wait time, right? Implicit underscore wait time. Okay. Again, one more public static final. I'll say int again. Int. I'll say implicit wait time is over. Page wait time. Page wait time. Okay. I'll give 5 here. Okay. Like this. Now, how to access these things? I'll go to the base.java, guys. Okay. And instead of giving these values directly hard coded here, I'll say utilities. First, I'll say utilities dot implicit wait time. Just select that. That's it. You see, it's not hard coded anymore. It's being accessed from the utilities class. Ut, if we have to change this value, we have to go to the utilities and then update the value of the waiting time. Okay. This is page wait time. Okay. Page wait time. Page load time or page wait time. Better it should be page load time, right? I'll change it to page load time here so that it will be good. The reading wise, it will be good. Implicit wait time and page load time. So here I'll say page dot page load time. Utilities dot page load time. Done. Okay. So we have removed the hard coding, complete hard coding from these things. Okay. None other things are hard coded here. That's fine. Okay. So this is fine, guys. This are nothing is hard coded. Okay. Nothing is remaining in this base class. Let's see whether these things are working fine or not. After I have moved those things into the config.properties file, let me run this time in the Edge browser, guys. Edge browser. I'll give Edge here. EDG. If you want to give in capital case, lowercase, then it will be a problem, guys. Case sensitive, right? So if you give capital case, it's not going to work because inside this base class, I've written the logic like this. Dot equals. If I have to ignore the case, I have to write some methods like this. Dot equals ignore case I have to write. Instead of equals, I have to use equals ignore case if case doesn't matter for me. Okay. And it should be Chrome here. Okay, remove this part. Okay, the better way to do is instead of equals, write equals ignore case because in sometimes we forget to provide in lowercase and we'll provide in uppercase, then problem will come. Okay, so instead of equals, use dot equals ignore case. Based on the problem statements, we are doing all this stuff, guys. You see, I'm explaining everything based on the problem statement. Okay, so this is how we have to learn the framework. Equals ignore case and remove this part. Done. Okay. Now here also dot equals ignore case, remove this part. Okay. Okay. Uh, okay. So what else is there? Save this. That's fine. Okay. So done. Now I change it to Edge browser and also I remove the hard coding of this two variables. So let's run in the Edge browser and see whether still it is working fine. Okay, the scripts are running in the Edge browser or not. Right click run as TestNG switch. All the scripts should run in the Edge browser now. Okay, first restart test should run in the Edge browser, then login test should run in the Edge browser, and finally the search test should run in the Edge browser. First restart tests are going to run in the Edge browser. Okay, restart tests are running in the Edge browser. All the 12 tests should run one by one. You see, all the tests got run in the Edge browser. Okay, great. So it's working fine, guys. All the things are working fine. Now I'll just change it back to the Chrome browser. I'll stick to the Chrome browser. Unless it is required to change to other browser, I'll come here and change. Okay, done. Any mistakes? No. Save all, done. So far, guys, this much for the third session. I think this is enough for third session, guys. We removed the hard coding, partial hard coding we have removed. Still, there is something that need to be removed, the hard coding of. If you see the login.java, there are a lot of other things which are still hard coded. Okay, other things which are hard coded, guys. For example, here this invalid password is hard coded still. A lot of things are hard coded here, guys. Okay, so here invalid password. Then if you come to the restart.java, here also this Arun is hard coded, first name is hard coded, last name is hard coded, telephone number is hard coded. Okay, a lot of things are still hard coded. A lot of things are still hard coded. Here, valid product is hard coded, invalid product is hard coded. Like that, many things are hard coded. Okay, those I have to take into the have to read from the Excel file. Okay, I want to store the remaining data into the Excel file. I cannot store everything into the config.properties file, as I already mentioned. I'm going to store such kind of. I'm going to centralize those data by removing the hard coding from the individual test by moving the data into the Excel file and reading the data from the Excel file into this individual tests. Okay, that's what I'm going to do in the next session. Okay, in the next session, we are going to see integrating of this framework with Excel files by using POI API, reading the test data from the Excel files into the project. Okay, into the project tests. Okay. So we'll be removing the next level of hard coding next. Okay, so hard coding should not be there, guys. Okay, we have to centralize either in config.properties file or utilities.java. We have to hard code, remove the hard coding and move the data into the utilities.java. Now remaining data we have to move into the hard coded data. We have to move into the Excel file. Okay, remaining data we have to move into the Excel file. Okay, let's see that in the next session. So that's all for this session. But before moving on, I'll just mention a note here. Removing the hard coding. Okay, removing the hard coding from base and test classes. Okay, test classes. What are the different things we have implemented as part of okay, as part of this 1 minute here I need to change the structure a bit. This creating the Maven project, installing okay, I'll just move it here better. Just make a different structure on the go. So all this stuff, utilities class, before method, after method, create base and all, removing hard coding, all this will come here. Okay, 1 minute. Like this, I'll put. Don't worry, guys. I'll provide this Xmind as part of the notes. These notes will be updated now. Okay. When I started the session, the notes are not there. So this mind map I'll provide as part of the notes. Okay. So removing hard coding here, let's update. Okay. This is how we have to create the mind map. So removing the hard coding from the base and test classes using properties. Creating config.properties. Config.properties. Okay. High level properties. Then what else next? Where did I explain the running as batch in this session only, right? Here itself, running the test classes in batch. I have used testng.xml file. Okay, I created testng.xml file. src test resources folder I created, source folder. Under that testng.xml file I created and I have run that. Okay, organized and run that. The next one is removing the hard coding I have started and utilities. Okay, utilities I've added some static final variables. Okay, so waiting time and implicit wait time, implicit wait time, removing the hard coding of implicit wait time and page load time. Okay, removing the hard coding of these two things. Okay, then what else next, guys? That's it. That's what I have explained. Let me see if I have anything else I covered in this session. Config.properties is main thing. Then utilities also added something, and I think that's the thing. Loading the properties file. Okay, loading properties file. I explained the code about the loading properties file. In every class, I created a constructor, right? Constructor, super keyword. Okay, just highlighting the stuff. That's it. Okay, super class constructor will be called, properties file will be loaded, and all these properties will be updated. And okay, anything else? I think that's it. That's it. I covered in this session. These two are the areas, guys, I covered in this session. So in the next session, I'll remove the other test data, other hard-coded test data from the test by moving those test data into the Excel sheets. And from the Excel files, we are going to read the test data into our test. Okay, fine. So that's all for this session. See you in the next session. Thank you. Bye.